Hello and welcome to the Bot Box. There's wordplay, there's puns, and there's this. AAT's full name, which you can see here, is a mashup of the Terminator and a Bond reference. So James Bond reference, introducing himself as Bond, James Bond. But between the Bond references, the Terminator references, and the Schwarzenegger reference, it leads to the unfortunate combination of letters you see here. It's a mere misspelling or mispronunciation away from being highly offensive, and I don't think that Arnold A's team intended it to be like this in the slightest. I think it was an honest mistake on their part. But that is what happened. This is what we are left with as a name. And apologies to Arnold A T and its team, but I am not taking the chance. I'm just going to refer to it as Arnold A T for the avoidance of offence. And because that full name is pretty unwieldy, even without the possible offence that I could have by saying the name. Anyway, Arnold A T originally went by the full name and it was a silver coloured box, actually originally a water tank, armed with a lifter, which is a departure from the team's previous robots. They entered previous wars, albeit inside events, with two walkers, Jim Struts and Miss Struts, and both were winners. They managed to qualify for Series 4 of Robot Wars proper with Arnold AT, landing in Heat H, where they drew Wedgebot, Lifter, Rambot, and succeeded bulldozing Lifter, Behemoth. Arnold AT went straight for Behemoth early on, clearly not fearing the big names, and attempted to lift the 6th seed and turn it over. The lifting attempt was successful. The turning over not so much, and Behemoth got released. Arnold AT ended up on the wrong end of the attack, but it too got freed. After another attack, Arnold AT was left alone because it was on its side. But Arnold AT could self-right, and did so, but Behemoth flipped Arnold AT again. Once again, Arnold AT self-righted and managed to escape dead metal, but ended up rammed against the wall by both Rambot and Behemoth. Arnold AT was released soon afterwards. Arnold AT got attacked twice more and was searching for a target as time ran out, and the judges called in. Arnold AT did get through, Rambot not so much. Next up was 22nd seeded Axebot Exterminator. Exterminator sent Arnold AT to dead metal early on, but Arnold AT escaped and tipped the 22nd seeds over. Exterminator righted itself and pushed Arnold AT and spent most of the fight pushing Arnold AT around, axing them all the while. Not that Exterminator's axe actually did anything. Even they don't want to talk about it. Arnold AT did push back, and when time ran out and the judges were called in, they ruled in favour of Exterminator. Well, yes, that's aggression, even if it didn't cause any damage. Anyway, Arnold AT returned for Robot Wars Extreme 1 with a shortened name. It was now from Arnold to Arnold A, and it now had a axe for self-righting and damage purposes, and went into the Mayhem, the qualifier for the first Annihilator, where it faced a Wedgebot with a lifting arm and a spinner. So it's a lifting arm and a spinny thing at the bottom that didn't move up and down with the lifter, wild thing, and horizontal bar spinner Fluffy, making its debut in Robot Wars. Arnold A.T. wanted nothing to do with Fluffy, and I don't blame it in the slightest. Fluffy, slightly terrifying. So, it kind of tried to team up with Wild Thing. The thing is, Arnold A.T. wasn't quite as fast as Wild Thing, so Wild Thing kind of had control of Fluffy and took it out. Arnold A.T. did tap Fluffy with the little axe once Fluffy was done, only for Wild Thing to catch Arnold A.T. by surprise. Rather like that coughing fit. The two had a little dance before Wild Thing opened the pit and, well, resumed the dance. Arnold A.T. got Wild Thing balancing on one wheel. Wild Thing recovered and sent Arnold A.T. to circle a lot as Fluffy flew from the airfloor flipper and rolled nice and neatly into the pit. Talk about a hole in one. Who's got that in crazy golf? The best kind of golf, I hasten to add. Anyway, Arnold A.T. escaped to get pushed by Wild Thing as time ran out and the judges were called in. They went for Arnold A.T. via a split decision. So Arnold A.T. made it into the Annihilator. There, waiting for them were... oh dear. Horizontal Spinner Hypnodisc, Exterminator, who they'd already fought, Flipper Thermidor 2, Grabber Axebot Splinter, and Thwackbot Sting. Wait, Stinger wasn't that one. Sorry, my mistake, Stinger was not in that Annihilator. Who was it? So we've got Arnold A.T., Hypnodisc, Exterminator, Thermidor 2, Splinter, Pussycat, Pyramid-shaped, cutting disc wielder, Pussycat. Somehow my brain put Stinger down on the script. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm ill. Anyway, this is bad. This is bad, this is bad, this is not good. This is Ring of Fire territory. And Arnold A.T. would have to survive all 5 of those to get a nice shiny trophy. Talk about underdog. Well, Spikosaurus won an Annihilator, so there's no reason for Arnold A.T. to not go away with the trophy. Well, actually, there's plenty of reasons for Arnold A.T. not to go away with the trophy, but I am rambling. Anyway, Arnold A.T. argued with Pussycat before it finally found a target. Hypnodisc. That is very brave of you, Arnold A.T. But Hypnodisc seemed to not be well, like me. Admittedly, Arnold A.T.'s attacks were just 3 taps. And Arnold A.T. left Hypnodisc to Splinter. Did you see what Hypnodisc did to the original Splinter? It was in bits, actual pieces. And annoyed Pussycat. Arnold A.T. annoyed Pussycat, not Splinter. Then after that, Arnold A.T. went Hypnodisc again. Thermidor 2, the Flipper, probably wondering what was going on, because I haven't mentioned it at all. Just to say that it was there. Well, I'm mentioning it again now to say it was being counted out because it had gone foot and died. So, second fight. Arnold A.T. was out of focus until it went after Hypnodisc and Pussycat. Arnold A.T. stayed out of trouble until it went back to Hypnodisc and later Exterminator and Splinter and Pussycat, in that order. Exterminator, meanwhile, after giving Hypnodisc a good axing and doing a good job of making everyone think Hypnodisc was going out, ended up dying itself and got counted out. This was not part of the plan, Exterminator. Anyway, next fight. Arnold A.T. went after Pussycat, did catch Hypnodisc, and helped Splinter open the pit. Splinter tried to hit Hypnodisc, but Pussycat came in and stealed the kill. So just swiped the kills, stuffed Hypnodisc into the pit, went down themselves. So you're going to ask, why wasn't Hypnodisc moving? Who annihilated it? Not annihilated it, so who immobilized it? Arnold A. T. Thanks, Arnold. I like Hypnodisc. Okay. Back to the run. Arnold A.T. in the next fight opened the pit before buffeting Pussycat. Pussycat went to Splinter, but Arnold teamed up with Splinter to take on Pussycat. Obviously, Pussycat being the favourite, makes sense for the two underdogs to team up on the favourite. But Pussycat was having none of this and killed Splinter without destroying Splinter this time. Arnold A.T. then removed Pussycat's weapon. Yes, indeed. She's like on the floor, all in one piece, but not attached to Pussycat. So that put Arnold A.T. into the final. One of the team members asked why Arnold A.T. was getting through, and her response was that because their new team member, Homo, was present. Evidently, she's lucky charm. Pussycat gave Arnold A.T. no room to breathe in that final. Arnold A.T. tried to send Pussycat to Sergeant Bash, but Pussycat rewarded it with a barrage. Arnold A.T. did try to axe Pussycat, but the axe actually missed. So it didn't actually do any damage, but they tried. Pussycat's just an awkward shape that it's really hard to hit. And it doesn't help that Pussycat is incredibly slippery. Arnold A.T. did manage to drag Pussycat with the axe, but Pussycat kept hitting Arnold A.T. The bot was still alive when time ran out and the judges recording, but the axe had enough. It was just not functioning anymore. So when the judges recording, they ruled in favour of Pussycat. Now, you think this would be a great springboard for a great run after this, but Arnold A.T. actually didn't qualify for Series 5. And after Series 5, its team never returned ever. Which, things happen. It turns out there were fallings out behind the scenes between the team and Robot Wars. It's a shame things ended like that, but they had that Annihilator run, and that is not a bad way to go out. Arnold A.T. was not much to look at, and you'd think it would probably go out in round 1 of that Annihilator, but he made it all the way to the final. It was tough. It would not die. It ended up against... its only losses came to 2 grand finalists, which is not a bad... They're not bad bots, Exterminator and Pussycat. They're pretty good. And even then, they took those 2 bots to the judges, just by virtue of the fact that Arnold A.T. would not die. Ever. There's just the one thing that's a real shame, other than what happened to it after the Annihilator, is that the name its humans gave it. I'm sorry guys, I really like the Walkers, and Arnold A.T. is the kind of underdog you really want to root for and see it put up a fight at the very least. I'm sure there were a lot of people rooting for Arnold A in an underdog kind of way, but the name is just it's just unfortunate. coughing next week. Hopefully not. Will Taiki be kind this week? Hopefully yes. Who will I get next week? Robot with a short name beginning with G. Come on, let's see what we have. We have Golem. Well, be interesting to see what Golem did. Until next week, Callison244 out. I'm gonna have to mop up that mess.